I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb from 11Alive, and we know that every day the weather impacts us. Even a perfect weather day would have some sort of impacts, maybe too much sun or maybe you don't like the temperatures. But we also know that there are some days that have higher weather impacts than others. And with that known, 11Alive will be issuing weather impact alerts to help you and your family prepare for those high impact days. In fact, here's an example of what one of those might look like. Maybe if we're talking about high heat coming up in the future, we may talk about the forecast the next couple of days being hot in the 90s, but on, let's say, on a typical Saturday where temperatures might be up to 99 or near 100 degrees, on days like that, we would issue a weather impact alert. Here's another example of what we would do with that weather impact alert. This would be on the potential for storms. We're not only going to tell you what's coming, but we're also going to focus on when that threat would come. In this situation, it would be between 12 and 4 in the afternoon. We would tell you what that impact would be with severe storms that might have hail and damaging winds or maybe even a tornado threat. But we're also going to take it a step further and tell you what you need to do in order to keep you and your family safe. In this situation, we would caution you about driving or being outside, taking on any outdoor activities during that severe weather threat or that high impact weather event. So here's a look at some of the criteria that we'll be looking at for issuing alerts. I know the first thing you would think of is with severe storms. Well, yes, of course, any severe storms that would have damaging wind, hail, or even tornado risk. We also may issue an alert for rain, any impactful rain events with a flood threat. It also might be a day not with severe storms, but with a wind threat for any type of wind that would bring down any trees or potentially even cause any power outages. And we don't stop there, of course. As you know, here in the metro Atlanta area, even though we're not living on the beach, we feel the impacts from tropical weather. And in some of those events where any of those tropical threats with heavy rain, wind, or storms would be moving into our area, we would then issue an 11Alive weather impact alert. And of course, you know, winter weather is definitely a big impact on us. In those situations, any impactful winter weather events here in the metro Atlanta area or in North Georgia would prompt an 11Alive weather impact alert. Even a foggy day might initiate one of those alerts. And it may not be for all day. We might issue an alert maybe for just a few hours, like maybe between 4 a.m. in the morning until around 9 o'clock in the morning until that fog dissipates. There are other criteria as well, maybe just temperature changes, any large temperature swings or dips or rises in a short period of time might also initiate an 11Alive weather impact alert. And even air quality and pollen, when that could impact your health, those would be days that we would issue an alert. This is what it would look like on a 7-day forecast. We would highlight that on the 7 days so you could easily look at it and figure out the days, like this one would be for high heat on a typical Sunday or on a Monday, where we would issue a weather impact alert. So we are thankful that you are watching us here at 11Alive from the Weather Impact team as we prepare you and your family to stay safe in these high impact weather events.